Welcome back to Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. I'm Zach, and with me today is my good friend George.
Hey.
This is Series 1, Episode 31, and today we'll be talking about Captain America, Brave New World, which is from right fucking now.
Yes.
This is just a quick take. You know, we're going to have to rewatch it at least once. I'm going to probably need to watch it a few times after it hits VOD to do the full review and ranking. So this is a pretty quick episode, but we'll give some highlights and lowlights of what we thought about the movie and maybe a preliminary ranking. We will try to do a little spoiler-free section here up top and then give a clear indication of when we're going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can turn it off at that point. We don't want to ruin anything for you. But first, I do want to real quick, we got an email from Majors. Thank you again, Majors, as always. This is, what's that?
A good one?
It's always good.
No, I mean, was it, I guess, was it one bagging on something you said or something?
It's more on me. I mean, I have it.
So it's a good one.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's a good one. So this was regarding the Shang-Chi episode. He is bagging on me a little bit for not knowing who Tony Leung is. He said, I'm with George on this one, and he's had 20 years of bootleg Chinese Hong Kong cinema behind him. So he was aware of Tony Leung for a while. So it sounds a lot like you, as he said. He likes the idea of us doing a Super Cop Police Story 3 episode, which will happen eventually, I think. I really want to watch that again. I had trouble finding it streaming anywhere last I checked, but it's been a while since I checked.
Might have to ask a friend for a favor to torrent it or something. If you know any shady people,
if it's available on DVD or Blu-ray, I'm not above buying it. You know, I think it's a good movie. As long as it's not like $100, right? But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Majors also says that. He said nothing wrong with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but he prefers the House of Flying Daggers and Hero. I have not seen either of those. I don't think. Have you seen those?
I've seen all of them. One of them, I might be getting one mixed up. One was a little bit slow for me and was very artsy, but beautifully shot, but it was slow.
Okay.
For me.
That can be okay. That can be a good thing, actually. Some of my favorite movies are very slow. Like 2001 is a slow movie, and that's one of my all-time favorites. That, and what's the I Drink Your Milkshake one? But there will be blood. Right? That movie is really slow. There's like 20 minutes with no dialogue, which I guess is how 2001 is as well.
But is that the one with the pneumatic, the guy walking around with the pneumatic drill?
No, that's
that's another one.
What is that? That one's a little bit more, that's more like set in the 80s, I think, rather than like, I don't even know when There Will Be Blood was set, a long time ago. What is that one? Mm-hmm. It's I think it's a Coen Brothers movie that has Josh Brolin in it, so we should definitely cover it. I forget the name of it, but that's a great movie. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the last movie I saw him in. He was the father of Ariel in the live Disney thing.
Oh, really?
Live Disney Little Mermaid. Yeah.
The head bad guy in whatever movie it is we can't remember.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Now it's eating at me.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
He's also the guy in Dune.
Oh yeah.
That's Hard Rock.
Yeah. Let's see. It is
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Javier Bardem. Yeah. So if I Google both of them, Javier Bardem. It is No Country for Old Men. That's it.
Yeah.
Great movie with a ending. I didn't care for like the last 10 minutes. I was like, I didn't need that. You could have ended this 10 minutes ago. Anyways.
Sorry for that, tangent.
No. I need to know these things. Like I will just nag me the whole time. Then I won't be able to focus on what we're talking about, which was Major's email. What else did he say? Oh, he also said, so we were talking about the rope dart thing that Xiaoling uses in Shang-Chi. And he said that there's a Hong Kong action movie called Dragon Tiger Gate that I guess
that sounds familiar.
Features that weapon in it quite a bit based on what he said.
Oh, I saw this one.
You did? Nice.
I did too.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll check it out. that's pretty much it for Major's email, but I also did want to thank Jimmy G and Sean over at the Pie Factory podcast for the kind words on a recent episode of their show. If you like retro video games, they have nearly a decade of episodes available, and they do a great job of diving into the details of usually 2 games that they pick for each show. They're just 2 super good dudes. I really like their show a lot. Check it out. If that's not your thing, I don't know, maybe give them a download anyway. One last thing before we get into the main event. I did want to mention, we haven't forgotten about the next MCU adjacent episode, which is on Dread. It's coming. We've been busy. It might not happen until we catch up to the MCU in July, but if we can make it happen sooner, we will. And once we're caught up, there's going to be a lot more focus on Series 2. And I already have plans for a Series 3, which I'll have to lay on you later, George. I think you'll like it.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'm excited for Dread.
Yeah, I want to get to it. There's I have no time.
Yeah. Every time I've watched it, I like it even more.
It's so good.
I'm just like, wow.
It never disappoints. Okay, so back to the main event, Captain America, Brave New World. We'll skip the credits for now. That's something we'll cover in more detail in the full review episode later on. So do you want to go first about your movie-going experience for this one?
Yeah. What's the thing called where they have the little Marvel Studios logo and then it does the flippy floppy thing of like the comic book pages?
Yeah.
What's that thing called?
I don't know what you're talking about. Or the fanfare? No, I think that's the name of the song that they play. I know what you're talking about, but I know what you're going to say. That seems like a spoiler to me.
Oh, is it a spoiler? Oh,
I feel like that could be a spoiler.
Okay.
What about let's
where'd
you go? Who'd you go with? Did you have a good time? Did you like it or not?
Okay.
Like, be super vague.
Scratch that stuff then.
Okay.
Yeah, I went as a Valentine's Day date with my wife. So
that's great.
And it's been a long time since she'd actually seen a Marvel movie. And I don't think she's seen a Marvel movie in the movie theater. So I was actually pretty excited to go see it with her.
Excellent.
And then to answer it and help answer any questions afterwards. I thought it was good. I went into it not wanting to see any reviews, but I did see a couple of like review titles pop up here and there, and a lot of them didn't seem very favorable. But I liked it. It wasn't the best. It's definitely not the best Captain America for me, but I liked it, and I do feel like Anthony Mackie was a great Captain America.
I mean, I liked him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as Captain America in that too. So regarding the reviews, I was trying to avoid reviews. I didn't want to look at Rotten Tomatoes and like set expectations. I did happen to see a couple of headlines and it looked pretty negative, but the reviews are a lot better than I thought they would be after reading the few headlines and after having seen the movie. And they're not great, but I mean, it's pretty good. Anyways, so I saw it by myself and in the fancy theater, lunchtime.
Was it the fancy theater we went to?
It was. I thought the whole time.
Oh. I still think of those tater tots. Very lovely.
I had some tater tots. I was like, I'll be good. I'll just have a salad with some chicken. And I'm like, I'll have some tater tots too. So I did. And it was actually a pretty good theater going experience for opening weekend. Probably because it was the middle of the day, but there was nobody bothered me the entire movie. It was great. So, overall, I like it. I think for me, amongst the Captain America movies, it's a distant fourth. No, don't even have to think about it.
Right.
And then if I were to put it in a tier, I think it's D tier. Personally. Okay. What about do you have a feeling on tier?
It was for me, my fuzzy feelings were low C at the most, high D's.
Yep.
And actually I'm still like high middle D's.
Okay. I mean,
I feel like I'd have to see it again to really watch it.
I don't think it would be low D for me. Again, yeah, totally. I need to watch it again. I don't think it's low D. I think this is one I'm going to like more on a second and third watching, but
yes,
I could be wrong on that.
There's a lot to like, but there's also some things weighing it down.
Yeah. So I said, solid D tier, but I'm not sure where, like potentially at the top above Iron Man 2, maybe the bottom below Iron Man 3, but probably not. I think Iron Man 3 would be more annoying.
Is there any room for ties in our in our in our ranking?
I don't know. You'd have to make a strong argument to me for something to be tied.
To be tied. Yeah, fair.
Anyways, I think at that point, that's about all we can say without potentially spoiling anything. So
we could talk about some of the stuff that was in the trailers.
Well, what if people are avoiding trailers?
Okay, fair.
So fair. So that's something I will get into, but I think I will say I wish I hadn't seen some of the trailers because I think it would have been better if certain things had not been revealed ahead of time. I will say no more than that. We'll get into that.
I 1000% agree with you.
Yeah. So I will say if you are done listening at this point, thank you for listening. Email us at absolutelythebestpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our socials, check out our Discord, all that's in the links. If you're ready to listen to the spoilery stuff, keep listening. Happy to have you. We are now getting into spoiler
both of
country.
Us liked it, right?
Yes.
It sounds like both of us liked it.
More positive than negative for sure on
right.
my. Yeah. All right, so now we are absolutely getting into spoiler territory. You've been warned.
Yes.
I mean, I can't guarantee everything's going to be a spoiler, but I'm no longer going to be holding back. So do you? I just get into it. I basically have stuff broken down as positive, negative, and just otherwise. So do you want to kick something off, or I can pick something?
I mean, we can start from the beginning. I really was curious what happened to that Marvel Studios thing.
I thought that was interesting too.
Did you know that?
The Marvel Studios logo thing, it looked like it was like from the 40s or something, right? It was like black and white. And yeah, that was weird. Because they didn't have any like the superheroes flying through and whatnot, right?
They didn't have any like scenes from the MCU or anything.
And it would have made sense if the movie was starting like back in the 40s or something. So I thought we were going to get like some kind of flashback to begin with, but we don't get one at all throughout the movie. I thought that was really weird. That was interesting for sure.
That kind of threw me off right off the bat as soon as I was like, wait, what?
You had said something about Harrison Ford. I want to say that I thought that he was actually really good in it. I had my doubts. I thought he was going to be phoning it in because he has kind of a reputation for thinking this kind of stuff is stupid, but doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know what they paid him. I think he earned his money. Like he committed to it without being too hokey. There's like one or two times when I laughed a little bit. I don't remember what it was, but there was a couple of reactions he had where I was like, it just made me laugh. But overall, I really liked him in it. So maybe it's because my expectations for him were pretty low. But
I think actors wise, I think everybody earned their pay, and bonus and whatever bonuses are attached. I love Harrison Ford. I liked him as Thunderbolt Ross. But I think the writing just kind of didn't do it for me.
The writing's hard, roughness.
Like, again, all the way up until this movie, Ross was an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even Ross wanted to throw Rhodey, who had basically broken his spine in the middle of, trying to enforce the Sokovia Accords, and threatened to throw him in jail for not, arresting Captain America on site when he saw him. And then you're going to tell me this guy, I just want to be a good man so that my daughter's going to talk to me. I just had a hard time buying that as the whole, okay, I'm a completely reformed man, but
I think that didn't even occur to me. And I think it's because of the change in actor. But if I were to try to defend that, I would say he almost died, right? He had a heart condition, and that's what Leader cured, quote unquote, cured him of. So I don't know, maybe supposedly near-death experiences change people. I've always been this nice, so I wouldn't know.
I'm going to be a jerk till the day I die. I'm just kidding.
But that didn't bother me, but I understand your complaint there.
Yeah. I really wanted to like him, but the whole, I don't know. I think it's just the way it was set up. You just went from one thing and then just so many things crammed into it, right? Like you see the Celestial and you're like, ooh, at least they didn't forget that and they didn't address that. And then there's all these big reveals, and it would just feel like they were just throwing the kitchen sink into this movie.
Yeah, there was a bit too many ideas.
Yeah.
So while we're still talking about I was still talking about Harrison Ford. I was wondering ever since the first trailer dropped, and he said something about like they told me to shave or I'd lose the election. So I thought maybe he just couldn't grow a mustache or he looked silly with a mustache or something like that. But
he sounded like what he did.
So they show a picture of him with it. He looks fine. He looks even more like William Hurt.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah. He looks a lot like him. Like I think he would have looked even more like him if they let him have a mustache. So then I was thinking, is it because then Hulk would have a Red Hulk would have a mustache?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense. But then when he does become Red Hulk, his hair is like jet black except for like at the temples. I was like, why didn't they either make him gray or make Harrison Ford's character have darker hair? Although I guess Ross always had gray hair. So that kind of took me out of it a little bit. I am a
That was the
stickler
first
for
question
dumb
my
details.
wife asked. It was like, why does his hair turn black when he turns into the Hulk?
Well, he used Just for Men while he was in the middle of the transformation. But yeah, that's
what radiation does to your hair.
That irritated me. While we are on the topic of Thunderbolt and Hulk, is Red Hulk Ross in the comics too, or is this something that was okay?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the other thing I didn't like is I didn't like how I'm not sure I bought the origin story of the Red Hulk. You're the president of the United States. Nobody around you carries a Geiger counter to like make sure you're not walking into an irradiated zone.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That seems like something I should have thought of.
Well, I mean, I just, it was just like, it was gamma infused pills. And it was just like, the guy was like, oh crap, I better go tell my buddy. And then the leader happened to be there. But yeah, the gamma infused pills, I feel like would be pinging all kinds of beeping instruments around the president.
Okay, so I have something about the gamma infused pills since you brought it up. This is going to take more digging later on a rewatch. So stay tuned for a potential science gripe there. But when they do find the pills at Camp Echo 1, right? Cap and Sam Cap, this is, and I forget his sidekick's buddy. He's the new Falcon. I forget his name. Anyways, they find these pills, and there's a little note, and it said something about like thorium on it, like TH. That's the element thorium, and I didn't really get a chance to look at it too closely. But I think that they were implying that there's a metastable thorium isotope that releases gamma rays, and that's true. There is one like that, and I'm guessing they picked thorium because it's named for Thor, right? Just as kind of like an Easter egg thing or whatever. So it kind of makes sense, but it brings up again my complaint from the Incredible Hulk, in which they talk about gamma like it's a tangible thing. Right. Yeah. So like saying like these pills contain, so much gamma. It's a bit like saying like this glow stick contains this much light. Right. It's not the same thing. If I'm going to say something positive now, I'm going to do my positives here. I like that Anthony Mackie's facial hair isn't dumb anymore. Where it kind of came across like the middle of, I've complained about it before where if it followed his jawline, it would make sense, but it went like across his cheek in a weird way. And from the front, it looked okay, but from the side, it always looked weird to me. Or maybe it was the other way around. But he's just got a regular goatee now. He looked good.
Yeah. How did you like Anthony Mackie as Captain America?
He was fine. I like him quite a bit as Captain America. I liked him as Captain America in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. Yep. I am a little iffy on, his suit being able to do so much, basically making him a super soldier without super soldier serum.
Let's talk about the suit, because there's one, I had a pet peeve about the new Wakanda upgrade.
Okay, go for it.
My pet peeve was, why is your helmet clearly nanotechnology, but your wings can just get ripped off by the Hulk whenever?
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a valid complaint.
I mean, because you and I are huge fans of nanobots, apparently. Right?
We've never complained about them before, no.
Right. So part of me is just like, why not just make the wings out of that too? Since it's very clearly Wakandan upgraded.
Yeah. Yes. Right? Yeah, because they store
kinetic energy, or
they store kinetic energy, which is then potential energy, and then it's released. I did like that. I liked that addition to his suit, that it was able to do that. Yeah. I found it to be inconsistent with the Black Panther movie, where it seemed like he gets hit a couple of times, maybe, builds up so much, and then and it has to release. And I feel like here, especially at the end where the Hulk was just wailing on him, it just kept building and building and building and building. And then it was a huge release of energy. So a little inconsistent with how it was, I don't know, supposed to work, quote unquote. I admit I'm being a little bit nitpicky there. That didn't really take me out of it so much as the fact that the blast that, was cracking concrete, damaging, like tipping over cars, knocked Hulk out momentarily. That did nothing to, it knocked Sam out for a little bit, but his organs should have been liquefied. He should have been dead from that.
Yeah.
Although, all right, if I'm playing devil's advocate, he was inside of this. No, because it was stabbed into Hulk, right? And then he wasn't like protected by his own suit there. He wasn't like at the center of the blast. So I don't know. I think that should have. I think that should have hurt him.
But I think his whole, like, even like what he's wearing is Wakanda is like vibranium, right?
Yes.
The entire thing is vibranium.
Yes. And that gets me to another gripe, which we had seen in the first trailer where he does, and it happens early on in the movie where he does like the supersonic landing, which I get what he's doing. He's like trying to create the sonic blast. Then he lands. He's like, wait for it. And then the blast comes after because it takes time for sound to travel and it messes with all the guys that he's about to fight. It's kind of cool, but he's not a super soldier. And even if he was, I feel like this would still, like, it would absolutely kill him. And I remember back a while ago, this is, I'm going to just demonstrate how deep my mania goes here. A while ago, I had started working out some calculations about it. So it's just like, how fast do you have to be going to break the speed of sound? The whole thing isn't that he was able to break the speed of sound and then stop quickly. It's like, how quickly does he stop? Because that's all, like, it's all acceleration and deceleration, right? So if you get in a car accident, your car crumples and there's like a half of a second in which it takes you, the car takes you from, 70 miles per hour down to 0. And that's what keeps you from dying. It's not
the crumple
zone. Not the seatbelt's holding you in place. Yes. But like if the car was like this solid brick and it just stopped dead, when you ran into something, your brains would be mush on the inside of your skull. That's how it goes.
Fun fact. Isn't that why like Cybertrucks are super dangerous?
Yes. I was thinking that exact same thing. So anyways, I'm going to potentially put this in the show notes, but I have a notebook entry. I put it in our notes actually, if you want to see it. Where I did a bunch of math.
Oh my God.
I'm such a maniac.
Is that what I'm looking at?
Yes. So I was just like, well, let's assume that he goes from whatever, like Mach 1.1 or something, like just over the speed of sound to 0 in the distance that it takes for him to crouch down, right? And that the suit can absorb all that because supposedly it's the suit that's keeping him alive. And I did that. I did all the calculations there. At best, he is blacked out from the deceleration. Okay. More likely internal hemorrhaging in his brain and organs, like everything's bleeding. He's going to die. And he's shattered all the bones in his legs.
I'm going to, when we do the real version, the full version, I'm going to expect an updated calculation based off of now you'll be able to time how long it took the sonic boom to arrive.
Oh, you know what? There's some dude on Instagram who does stuff like that. And I should just submit this to him. I'm like, figure this out.
Like how much energy?
Yeah, he does it a lot in a lot more detail. I'm trying not to be too boring with it, but I did go absolutely ballistic on this when I first saw the trailer. And then I was prepared for it mentally when it happened in the
because I was thinking the other day too, like when Captain America jumped out of that plane with no parachute, but he landed in water, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that actually covers all my negative stuff for the most part. I have some stuff that's kind of negative.
I have a lot more negative stuff,
right,
but
well,
let's just stick to the positive stuff. I liked all the actors and actresses. I was sort of disappointed that they didn't give Liv Tyler anything.
She was in it.
Because she was in it. Yeah, no, she was, but it was just like, oh, hello, father, or hello, dad.
Yeah.
That was like the only thing she had.
I don't know why I clicked on it because I keep getting these stupid clickbait articles in my newsfeed, but there was like some news article about like, was she really in the movie or was it like AI generated? I was like, I didn't think it looked weird at all. It looked like her. Like I didn't question it one bit.
I thought it was her.
But the consensus is she was actually in the movie.
Yeah, I wish she was in it more. The on the positive side, I appreciated that they didn't just ignore the celestial and that it was there
Yep.
and that there was actual plot point.
Yes.
Um,
I love
I
that about it.
was it was neat, right? Like, but though I was kind of confused. I was like, what? There's only like 4 countries that want to like have at it with adamantium.
I mean, maybe the 4 strongest countries, like,
Yeah,
if you're, do you really want to go up against the US and Japan? And I don't know who the other ones were. I mean, it's not fair, but
France and
um,
India. I guess were the other two
yeah.
that they were trying to get on board.
But
But
so yeah, I love that about it. And yeah, that totally makes Eternals even more worth it.
yeah,
I wish they had not shown that in the preview. I wish I didn't know anything about the
that is
Celestial being
number
there.
one. Yeah,
Because
I
like
wish
it's
that they.
not a huge part of the movie. And I think that would have been an awesome surprise. I would have been like, oh shit, that would have been so cool in the middle of the
Yeah,
movie to have revealed that.
the adamantium reveal made me super excited because I don't know, as everybody knows, adamantium is what coats Wolverine's body.
Yep.
So I feel like
Bones.
that's a yeah, I feel like the X-Men are just around the corner now
That's another thing I wish I didn't know going like
about adamantium.
I wish I didn't know that it was adamantium that was part of Tiamat that was being mined out of it. Like that would have been another great surprise. I don't remember if that was actually in a preview or if you just ruined it for me.
I think I ruined it for you because somebody I think I said some nerd in like some subreddit is theorizing that it was adamantium.
I think when we talked about it in the episode, I think that you just said that the theory was that they're fighting over being able to mine valuable minerals from the Tiamat corpse, or whatever. And I don't think anybody knew at the time that it was adamantium, but I think in our Discord you spoiled it for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean,
it was a lot.
It wasn't spoiled for me as much as like confirmed, I guess, that it was adamantium. But I thought that was pretty neat still, even though like I was like, yes, even though I sort of saw it coming because of all the rumors, but it was still nice to know that like, hey, it's confirmation. The X-Men really are possibly coming around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. And I a little bit wish that they needed to use the adamantium to defeat Red Hulk in this. Like,
yeah.
I understand it's setting up other things. I'm not really sure how that would have worked. Maybe that would have been too much to try to squeeze in, but the way, I don't know, I guess the way that Red Hulk gets defeated was okay. And this is another one. I think the more I watch it, I think I'll like it more. I don't think I'm ever going to love it, but
yeah, I'm hoping that I'm going to like it more. I'm worried that I'm going to find more things wrong with it because there are things like I don't know, the leader just kind of underwhelmed me.
Yeah,
I don't know how you felt about that.
I was excited when I think that was another thing they should have not revealed. Actually, I don't know if he was in the trailers.
He wasn't in the trailers.
I guess he was in the trailer. I think I just had it spoiled for me a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was glad that they finally brought him back.
Yeah.
It was something not right. It was like he was from a different movie. He was like
he was cooler in
or something.
He was cooler in the Hulk movie.
Yeah. There was something right. And like in general, there was something weird about this movie. It seemed like a made for TV movie to me through huge parts of it. It was just, I don't know, something about the way it was shot, the acting. But yeah, I was a little bit, I still can't put my finger on what it was about Leader that I didn't like. He just felt out of place for me.
It wasn't that his face looked like the Toxic Avenger pissed on it.
I mean, I don't know what else I would have expected him to look like. It was, I don't know, it was just weird.
Oh yeah, in the comic books, he has like this really ginormous Marge Simpson looking brain because his head grows like vertically.
Okay,
and so it looked weird. So I was really curious how they were going to make him look, especially after the reveal when the Hulk blood was dripping on the crack in his head, in his skull.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, so I was curious how he would look, and then when he showed up, I was like, oh man, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah. Did you like Giancarlo Esposito though?
He also felt like he was in a different movie.
Yeah.
He was like too crazy. I don't know. It was weird. He was fine. I like him, but it was a little bit weird. And there's that scene where he unloads on Sam's truck and then like throws a grenade in the window and the whole thing blows up. And I don't think anybody for a second thinks that Sam is actually in there, but I'm like, how did he get out?
Right. Yeah. With no armor too. He just he managed to get far enough away to not get hurt.
In that scene, Sam gets stabbed in the chest with like a 4-inch blade up to the hilt. He at least has a punctured lung. It's like, I don't think he even stitches it up. It's just got like some gauze over it later.
They mentioned it earlier, right? Remember, because Giancarlo, the Sidewinder, his character says, "Oh, like how'd you not die from that stab?" And it was like, "Oh, you had a Kevlar weave."
They mentioned it. They mentioned it later, but that was the axe to the gut.
Oh, that was
which also looked like it went in his gut. So, did the Kevlar also go in and gently push his organs aside? I don't know.
And heal him.
That was one I'm gonna have to check out in more detail later.
Yeah, there's stuff like that I worry is gonna make me like it less. But I don't know, the whole plot with like the leader like orchestrating all of this stuff, and then the whole like flashing lights automatically programming somebody to do something.
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
I feel like I could have used a little bit more about how that supposedly worked, but then you're running into the problem of like you are over explaining things, and now this is dumb. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel on that.
I didn't like Isaiah Bradley being turned into like this patsy for the leader, because I liked his character. Like I was like,
he was so good. Yeah. He was so good in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah.
I wish that they'd done more with him than keep him in jail.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's out now, and is he hooking up with that other Black Widow lady that they introduced?
Oh,
we're gonna go to this basketball game.
Yeah, she's interesting. She's actually, I think that she's supposed to be Sabra. There's an Israeli Black Widow-ish type character in the comic books named Sabra, and I feel like before this, because of everything going on in the world, people were like, "Oh, like we got to tone this down." So she's actually like not even ex Mossad or something, whatever she is in this year. So they just made her ex Black Widow. But yeah, she was okay.
I thought it was cool that like, oh yeah, ex Black Widow. The actress, this is gonna be mean, but I feel like the actress looks like Scarlett Johansson in a funhouse mirror. She's like super short. She's got like similar facial features, but it's almost like a fisheye lens over her face. I don't know. She was interesting looking.
Yeah.
I
couldn't get over how short she was.
She's super short. She's like, I don't think she's even 5 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
I thought also that her physical fighting was pretty good, but I feel like her dialogue was really weird and stilted.
Yeah. Like I don't want to believe any of the internet rumors about how this was just reshot so many times. And
I should look into that at some point, but yeah. It's like, starting to seem that way.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that just kind of feel thrown in, and then like, hey, let's just hope that this all works in the final edit,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really feel like, I wish that the leader felt like such a missed opportunity. They could have just done so much more with him, especially because he's supposed to be like one of the most brilliant minds on the planet or in the universe now. Thinks he's like, since his brain's all gamma infused and gigantic. Yeah,
it does feel like he was just kind of given the bare minimum to establish him as a character.
Yeah. Oh, that stinger. What do you think about that stinger and the weird, they're coming?
Oh yeah. So
that was weird for me too.
I thought it was weird that there was no mid-credit stinger, which is fine. It's just been a while since we haven't had two things in a Marvel movie. So he says like, they'll be, or like, you watch out for the others. He says the others. And I was like, man, that sounds like something, but the other was like the one character that was killed in the first Avengers movie. It was like Thanos's.
Oh yeah.
Thanos's guy. I guess he wasn't killed in Avengers. He was killed in. Yeah, he was killed in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
By what's his face?
The blue guy.
Yes.
The guy who lost the dance off. Ronan. Yeah.
But anyways, so in this post-credit scene, Sam goes and talks to, I keep wanting to call him Brainiac, leader. Yeah, he says something about the others. So I guess they're like doubling down on the multiverse stuff now. which I don't love, but I think that's what's going to get us to like these two Avengers movies eventually. And then that's supposed to resolve it, is my understanding.
Do you want to hear a potential Fantastic Four multiverse theory that I read about?
Sure.
So you know how the because we saw the trailer, right? And it doesn't,
right,
and it's like set in the past seemingly.
Yeah, like this.
So it's very maybe. Retro feel. So everybody, and me included, was like, this is weird that has this retro-ish feel, and like none of the characters from the MCU have heard of these guys.
Right.
And so the theory is that Galactus that shows up, who looks pretty cool, I gotta admit, I think it looks cool at least. That the Galactus actually destroyed their planet, and then they escaped into the MCU world. So part of me, when I was watching this, I was like, oh, I wonder if they're referencing the Fantastic Four as being part of the others coming in. I don't know. But
that would be pretty cool if they basically lose at the end of that movie, and then there's like a stinger where they're going into the
MCU,
whatever timeline. Earth 616 or whatever.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
So that gave me some hope for that. It was like a weird thing, but part of me is like, I hope I'm not just being too hopeful that that's what he means, that it's tying together these other cool timelines that are going to come in.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I have? How would you think about the Bucky cameo?
I liked it. I don't know why Bucky would run for Congress.
I want to see what's going to happen with that, because he's going to be in Thunderbolts.
Did they allude to that in the show? Did I miss that?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't recall. But in some of the Thunderbolts trailers, they show him like, I thought he was in court, but it's probably Congress or something. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I thought it was pretty funny. I was really glad to see him.
Yeah.
And I did get a good chuckle out of that scene.
They're great. I love seeing them. Ever since the whole like scene in Captain America where he like moved the seat back on purpose.
Yes. What did you think about Officer Taylor, who is Ross's?
Oh, his inside person.
Ross's, I don't know, aide. What do you call? I don't know what you call that.
Aide or like Secret position? Service, like head.
Secret Service, yeah. I don't know. She was there to protect him, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. She was okay.
Oh, you didn't like her? Oh man, I was so good. So her name is I think it's pronounced Zosha.
Yeah.
Zosha Roquemore. I haven't seen her since the Mindy Project. She was.
Oh, I don't think I've
seen her. She came in a couple seasons into the Mindy Project, and she's a nurse. She was always hilarious. I love her in that. And so it took me a while to realize why I recognized her, but I liked her in this. I thought she was really good. I was excited to see her.
I thought she had potential as like the lead agent or whatever her thing is, but they just didn't give her anything to do. I think I would have been happy if they sidelined the ex-Black Widow and she was one that was an ex-Black Widow and took on and did all the investigation and stuff.
Black Widow because she's black?
No. Oh, I mean, no. Or I guess ex-Widow, but like she I feel like she would have had more to do. Because in this,
actually, I like that idea a lot. That would have been cool.
Because like when he turned into the Hulk, and everybody guys just started shooting at him, I feel like if I were an agent and I'd seen what Hulks do, I would know that I would
run away.
I should go run and get like a bazooka and use that instead, because a bullet doesn't do anything to him.
Yeah. People were not responding appropriately when that happened.
Yeah, I feel like the last thing you want to do as somebody next to the Hulk is throw something at him that'll just irritate him. Like you either blow him up or you get away.
So I have a couple more things on the Hulk now that it's come up again. Actually, I wish this would have been really difficult. I wish they hadn't revealed Red Hulk ahead of time. If they had kept that a secret.
I think that he has just as much screen time in the trailer as he did in the movie.
Yes,
like that totally ruined it for me.
Yeah, like that would have been a great surprise. I think it would have been really hard to keep a lid on it. As certainly once the movie's out, but I don't know. If they hadn't put it in the trailer, there would have been some hope.
It would have been so good.
So
I think if they had left it, because they were totally hinting at it. But then when they hinted at it, you already saw the trailer. You already knew what was happening. It was just like,
it was already ruined for you. I think that because of all the reshoots and stuff, I don't think they had faith in their movie, and they're like, well, we got to get people to come in here somehow, so we'll reveal that that's Red Hulk.
Yeah, it really is a shame. Like they really should have. I saw a YouTube documentary on Interstellar, and it talked about how Matt Damon wasn't even listed anywhere in the movie, and so when he showed up, it was they were trying to keep him a secret that he was in it.
Yeah.
So that when he showed up, it was like, oh wow. So I'm like, you can keep something like Matt Damon a secret, but why ruin everything by like revealing? Yeah. They revealed so much in the trailer, like
all the things that could have been a surprise.
Right. I'm just like, that's why I'm just kind of like, this could have, the payoff would have been so much worth it if you just let people come into the movie, see it, and then just be like blown away by all the reveals.
Yeah, and I think I would have been higher on it if that had been the case.
Yeah.
Then of course, upon further viewings, I would be like, this isn't as good as I remember.
Right.
But whatever. It is what
we
it
wouldn't
is.
be where we are now so fast.
Right. I don't know about you, but when Sam is fighting Hulk at the end, like they have the big explosion, right? And then they both like get up for like half a second. I expected Sam to be like, sun's getting real low, big guy. Try that.
That would have been funny if he was like so desperate.
Yeah. Or I thought maybe Betty was going to show up and do something like that. That's
exactly. Okay. I was like, any minute now, Betty's going to come in and say like, Dad. And then he would revert back.
Yeah. Covered all that. The new Falcon, Joaquin Torres is his name.
Yes.
The character's name. I liked him better in this than I did in the TV show. In the TV show, he seemed like a little puppy dog jumping around, chasing after Sam. And he was kind of annoying. He was less annoying in this, but I still don't love him that much.
Oh, really? I liked him. That was one of the things that I liked was, I don't know. I liked that. I like that there was somebody. I mean, I guess when you look at how Sam was with Cap, with the original Cap, it wasn't. There was awe there, but it wasn't like putting him too much on a pedestal because I think they'd met doing that jog, and then and they both connected as soldiers. But here, there's definitely a pedestal, and Sam's on it, and this guy is just wanting to catch up and be everything he is. So I mean, I kind of liked it because I don't know, it's an interesting dynamic. It's different from Sam and Steve, but I don't know. I liked it enough. My wife said he was a cutie. I was like, oh,
all right. Well, gives you something to shoot for.
Yes. Now I have to go get a Falcon suit.
Let's see. I don't have that much left myself. I did like the new Captain America suit that he gets into kind of 2/3 of the way through. Like the color's a lot better, but it was weird that it had like the 3/4 sleeves. I don't know why it wasn't full sleeve.
Yeah, I just didn't like the helmet being nanotechnology and everything else.
Yeah. I think we've seen enough nanotechnology where I'm just kind of over it at this point.
Yeah. Also, I also don't like that the helmet popcorn bucket is so damn small that I can't buy it and put it on my head.
I haven't seen it in real life. Did you get it?
No, it's tiny. Okay. It wouldn't even fit my kids' heads. So,
my only last note was maybe I'm missing something, but what was with all the cherry blossoms? There was like cherry blossoms in every scene almost.
They're like, pretty.
Dude, are they? But are there even any in Washington, D.C.? Is this just news to me? Really? Okay.
I mean, we should probably double check that and research it. But I want to say that there are. Japan definitely has them, but in Japan.
I mean, I know they exist in real life, but it just didn't seem like something that the streets of Washington, D.C. were lined with. But I could be wrong.
I guess speaking of Japan, I don't know why Japan would be the country that we would be fighting with over adamantium. They seem like such an ally that they would trust us more than the other countries.
I'm guessing here that like real world politics, you don't want to be like China's the enemy. or even Russia's the enemy.
Well, if you do China's the enemy, then there go your box office numbers.
Exactly. That's number one, why China's never the bad guys.
Right.
I'm not trying to pick a fight with China, by the way. Just saying that's one reason why people don't pretend that China is the bad country in movies.
They should just make Greenland.
You mean Red, White, and Blue Land?
Can't believe that.
Anyways, so that's. Do you have anything else? I don't have anything else.
That's everything I remember.
Okay. Well, then I guess that's it for our quick take.
Is it still firmly in the C, in the D, the high D's for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to watch it again and then decide. I don't know.
Same.
I don't know what you would have said that would have changed my mind on that, but it's not set in stone yet. Well, we'll get to that eventually.
Yes. Now I want to look at the D tier list.
I think it's only 3. I think it's Iron Man 2, Thor 2, and then Iron Man 3 going top to bottom of the D tier.
Yep.
That's it for our quick take on Captain America: Brave New World. We should have Spider-Man: No Way Home out pretty soon. It's already recorded. I'm most of the way done editing it. I want to get this one out next, so I'm going to work on this and then that. If you want to contact us, you can email us at absolutelythebestpodcast@gmail.com. Join our Discord. There's a link in the show notes. We also have links there to our socials and a couple of ways you can help support the show. Please leave us a review. Please help us spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell Red Hulk and tell a cherry blossom. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Have a good one.
Absolutely the Best Podcast is a production of Audio Johnny, a subsidiary of Corporation Johnny. Corporation Johnny. If it exists, we own it.
Warning. Warning. Politics ahead. Warning. Politics ahead.
Now.
Okay.
Right, so I'm ready on 3, I guess.
All right.
1, 2.
Great. Now I just got to find my notes. Where are my notes? I had everything else set up. No, not your fault. I had everything else set up, and then I started trying to get ahead on other stuff and got my screens all jumbled up. Let's see. Captain America. All right. Yeah, I am on borrowed time right now. I have a lot of Tamiflu and Advil in me.
Ooh.
I am about to get real ill.
Oh no.
It's going around. So
But you haven't gotten sick yet. You're just
I feel off.
You're probably on the brink.
I feel so much. Just in case I use this for the show, my older son tested positive for the flu. He was like throwing up, 103 fever, like not having a good time. Took him to the doctor. He's got the flu. So the rest of us in the house got Tamiflu. What do you call it? The like preventative dosage, whatever. They're like, we're going to give you the whole thing, but only take half the dosage unless you start feeling ill. And then I was just like, I'm feeling off yesterday. So I started doing the full thing. And then today I'm like, oh, I'm getting a headache. I feel a little bit achy.
Oh man.
So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't get worse than that, but at least nobody's dead, because there was 4 unvaccinated young adults in San Diego who died from the flu already.
Yeah. I was just talking to a doctor and she was saying that, oh yeah, now that RFK is in place, I'm going to make sure that my kids have all the vaccinations as much as possible right now.
Yep.
Because who knows when we stop buying.
I called my kid's doctor. My kid's doctor. And well, we also went and saw him recently, but I had called him before and asked him about that. He said he's not too worried about it in California. Also, my kids are the age where they don't have anything to do other than like yearly COVID and flu, which they recently had the shots for. So there's really nothing for us to do at this point, but
except for measles coming back.
Yeah.
And the other stuff we can't control.
Hopefully it stays in Texas. Sorry, Texas. I know there's a few listeners there. I hope you're okay, but your state is run by a bunch of pricks, and that's what happens. I mean, it's
worse, idiotic pricks.
Yeah. So RFK can fuck off. most of the Republican Party can pull off. Anyways, I will cut most of that. Maybe I'll save it. Maybe I'll save it for the end, or maybe it's just a Patreon special. Welcome back to Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. I'm Zach, and with me today is my good friend George.
Hey.